Welcome to the WLPGA podcast series. Each podcast will feature LPG industry leaders and explore current opportunities, trends, and developments in the LPG industry. We hope you enjoy these informative segments.
Hello, I'm Steve Kaminski, President and CEO of the National Propane Gas Association, or NPGA, in the United States. I want to thank the World LPG Association for inviting me to their new podcast series, LPG Talks. Today I'm going to discuss the actions that NPGA took over the past several months to support the propane industry in the wake of COVID-19. NPGA is the advocacy arm for legislative as well as regulatory activity for the industry in the United States. I started with NPGA in late October of 2019. Needless to say, I didn't expect my first year to be one of the most taxing experiences our planet has faced in a century. While many in our country have turned their attention in the past weeks to matters of race relations, COVID-19 marches on and continues to challenge our public health and economic systems in a profound manner. It has tried propane businesses in ways never before imagined. Perhaps equally crucial is the fear it cast in almost all of us. Fear of losing a loved one, and fear of losing our job and our savings. Sadly, for some in our personal circles, those fears were realized. And now, as we work toward recovery, each of us, with our families, our colleagues, and our fellow citizens, must muster the fortitude to plow forward. By working through these uncharted waters, I have come to respect greatly not only the incredibly dedicated and compassionate members of the propane family, but also the energy itself, for what propane is now and what it can be. The pandemic reinforced what we as an industry have always known, that propane is a reliable and resilient fuel that will provide safe and clean energy no matter what the emergency. Case in point on resiliency, compared to others in the energy sector in the United States, propane stood the challenge incredibly well, especially compared to wind and solar, which saw layoffs in staggering numbers. Over the past several months, NPGA acted quickly and comprehensively on behalf of the LPG industry. Examples of some of the actions we undertook through this crisis include the following. We worked with the U.S. Department of Energy, Department of Homeland Security, Department of Transportation, and FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, to secure designation of employees of propane marketers, manufacturers, distributors, and others as essential critical infrastructure workers under federal guidance. Propane was not listed in the first draft, only oil and natural gas were. So our efforts saved membership countless hours from having to work state by state and county by county to achieve essential worker status. We worked with the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration to include propane in its emergency declaration, waiving hours of service requirements for the transportation of essential supplies, providing direct assistance and support of emergency relief efforts. We worked with the Department of Transportation on drug and alcohol testing guidance and waivers during the pandemic. We worked with the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration on numerous CDL-related matters, including many waivers. We worked with the Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration on delaying enforcement action on the federal requirement to conduct refresher training for hazardous material employees. We worked with the TSA, the Transportation Security Administration, on permitting states to extend the expiration date for current holders of hazardous material endorsements. We secured a favorable outcome for the propane industry in the federal government's third stimulus package, including an additional $900 million in funding the Low Income Energy Assistance Program, otherwise known as LIHEAP. This included promoting emergency LIHEAP funding through a grassroots effort where the industry sent over 2,000 letters to over 300 legislators. And this funding allows individuals who can't afford to pay their energy bills to depend on this grant program to get those paid. We designed rules of the road for NPGA members under dozens of governmental act and guidance documents, including those from the Centers for Disease Control and OSHA, which regulates workplaces. We also designed rules of the road for our members for the Federal Paycheck Protection Program and myriad other new financial assistance programs. We developed a suite of 17 different documents to support the industry, from templates to guidance to mailers. We work to provision cloth masks through FEMA at no charge to essential workers, over 57,000 masks to 1,200 locations. And above all, we answer the industry's questions, hundreds of questions from members and state executives related to COVID-19. As we unwind from what we hope is the worst of the crisis, we will undoubtedly be faced with new challenges. No catastrophic event goes without policymakers playing armchair quarterback on how to fix the system. Not that I disagree in concept. We can always learn from our mistakes and from our actions in response to a new situation. But oftentimes, policymakers overshoot the need with consequences that can be devastating to other groups. One area we are keeping a close eye on is potential policymaker initiatives to deem propane as a utility in the United States and thereby disallow shutoffs for non-payment in the wake of COVID-19. Another matter we're keeping a close eye on is supply. Between COVID-19, oil tensions and prices, and what could simply be a new dry day for crop drying, we are being proactive in this space. Like so many other organizations around the world, our work has allowed our member companies to continue operations. We consider ourselves fortunate and blessed that propane was fairly uniquely situated to weather the COVID-19 storm. But it couldn't have been done without tens of thousands of us working together to keep business flowing. I'm grateful to be part of the LPG industry and part of the World LPG Association. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to listening to others speak on behalf of this industry in LPG talks.
We hope you enjoyed this podcast, and we look forward to you tuning in again soon.